Hi
Hi
guys.
guys, welcome to our testimony that we would like to share with you guys. I know people would like to know why we came back to South Africa, but for us just to share why we came back, we need to go to why we went initially. So in 2018, God spoke to me and told me that at work that I need to go, that we need as a family to go to the Netherlands. And also during that time, the Lord actually spoke to my wife and also revealed some stuff in her heart as well.
Yes, in that time, we actually just started as a new family. I had a toddler and a baby, and we just bought a new house with a new car, and we had some plans of renovating the house. And I was sitting in the dining room the one day with the plans in front of me, and I just experienced the Lord saying to me that this is not going to happen. And didn't understand at first what he meant with that. So I said, okay, Lord, if this is from you, then I want you to confirm it. So initially, I didn't tell Quentin anything because, um, yes, I wanted God to confirm it in whatever way. And I also knew if God spoke to me, he will also speak to Quentin about that. So I left it there, and then a few days later, he came home from work and he said to me,
Yeah, that the Lord said that we need to go to the Netherlands.
yes. So that was confirmation for me. I was like, okay, so that's God's plan because I didn't know what he was meaning. He just said to me that, yeah, this is not going to happen. So
Yeah, then during that time when we were preparing to go to the Netherlands, somebody also broke into our house, stole our TV, um, and also I started filling in reasons for why the Lord actually sending us to the Netherlands. I was like, yeah, because of all the corruption and the crime and the future for the kids and the safety and so on. And I also used that last TV that was a TV that was stolen to tell myself, yeah, that's why we're not coming back. However, the Lord never said anything like that. So I got really bitter about South Africa because of the things that were happening. And then we left South Africa and we arrived in Netherlands. And for the first six months, we were just there really to try to find our feet and get ourselves established there. Um, but we had this heart's desire that the Lord must have sent us also here to maybe start house churches or something like that. That was what our mindset was, but we didn't really know how we knew how to do that and etc. And then I watched a video of Torben with his ministry called The Last Reformation. And then my wife also saw that they had a pioneering training school, online pioneering training school, that for free that you can do online, um, which we then started. We will also, for you guys that are interested to see what that exactly is, we will add a description or link in this video. So we started off with that online pioneering school, and then after we finished it, I still, even before that training, I was still struggling when I was in South Africa with a certain sin in my life, and I just really struggled to get complete freedom. And I thought we went through everything from what the Bible describes, how to be free from sin, etc. And we got in contact with other disciples. My wife actually got in contact with some of these disciples of TLR in Belgium and also in the Netherlands, and they helped me specifically with renewing actually of my mind. I didn't understand that principle at that stage so strong. So we went to them. I explained my testimony and my life story that's been happening. And at the end of the day, they said, yeah, the problem that we see in your life is actually that you haven't renewed and understand the renewal of your mind. They use this example of a pink elephant. If somebody holds a pink elephant in front of you and says, don't think about this pink elephant that's walking in front of you now. Stop thinking about this pink elephant. Your mind will constantly be on that pink elephant. So they said, Jesus has already overcome sin in my life. I need now to know, not to make, I started to make this sin a problem in my life where God was already set me free in that. So that really helped me in that area. And then during that time,
I also want to say that he has been free ever since. So that's about 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Where he couldn't break free for many years, many years. And he was free, really, really, like the Bible says, whom the Son sets free is free indeed. He really was free indeed. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that was special. Then we were looking to purchase a house in the Netherlands. So we bought a house, and in that time, Liana actually saw 3 weeks practical training school in the Netherlands that we can attend. Of which I said, wow, I'd like to do that, but it's just, wow, man, it's not practical. We've got a 6-month-old baby. We're moving in. We had plans doing renovation of the house, and it's in the time of when this discipleship is started. So I said to Beanie, to my wife, it's like, nah, this is not possible. Maybe let's do the next year. And then a while after that, you got another
notification that said that the
school
is still going on and there's still available spaces. So I said to him, I think we need to maybe really think about this. Maybe we should go.
And I said again, nah, I don't think it's just not practical. And then a while after that, God really spoke into my heart and said, you must go to this discipleship. You need to go to this discipleship. And it's the first time I actually heard the Lord speak in that type of authority to me to say, you must go and do this. So we went there. It was a wonderful time. We experienced amazing things. You guys are welcome to watch maybe some of TLR's channels, testimonies and films that they have on there. You will see what we're talking about and what our experience was there. And then after that, Lord spoke into my heart about this thing about South Africa. He asked me, if I would ask you to go back to South Africa, would you? And for me it was, wow, sure, it hit my heart. And I knew what the right answer was. It should be yes, but in my heart it was no. And I understood what the Lord was starting to speak into my life, but it wasn't then said that you are going back to South Africa. The Lord was just starting to reveal my heart and checking my heart. And then in 2021, the beginning of 2021, and around about February, we both had dreams on the same night of where we going to South Africa for type of a holiday, and then coming back. And then we were like, wow, that's interesting. And then roughly 2 days after that, we again had, on the same night, both of us had a type of a dream where we're going to South Africa on like a holiday experience, and then coming back with all the stuff happening in the dream as well. So we're like, okay, the Lord is really speaking that we need to go do something, and we need to go back to South Africa, like outreach or something like that. And then later, through your cousin, there was actually a group of young people that wanted to really go for God. And in May, they were open for us to disciple them, and we started discipling them over Zoom. Did also the pioneering school with them, and I really started growing. And then roughly around about November, we were praying and fasting for God to find out what is His plan for what He wants to do with the outreach in South Africa. And in that time, a good disciple, brother of us, Bobby, who will also add his wonderful testimony in the link and video. He had a word from God, a color actually for us for that time, and the color was blue. And we're like, okay, that's interesting. We will keep note. We didn't understand exactly at the time why that color.
Yeah, he felt God say that the color is blue. So that was the word from the Lord.
Yes. And then during that time, I also saw a vision of an elephant. I was like, okay, we need to keep this in mind. And then we went to South Africa on this outreach with all these disciples from South Africa. We made actually a nice video from that whole experience. We also add that video to this. And during that time, it was actually so amazing that we actually experienced like, now, let's rather stay. God is doing such amazing things. Roughly like 20 people got baptized and started following Christ. And we're like, nah, maybe we should stay. But the Lord actually reminded us that the dreams were like, we're going and coming back. So, okay. When we came back to the Netherlands, I experienced the Lord told me is the reason is there's still some things he needs to show us and to complete in this time. And before we actually went, there was a time when the previous owner had a lot of fish ponds in it. There was this one that still had water in it. We haven't looked at it for a year. And I needed to clean it out and fill it up with some soil. Because our youngest son was now starting to walk at that stage and we didn't want him to get hurt or anything. And as I was removing the water, I was starting to get fishes that survived for like a year and a half without
snow and everything.
any attention or anything. And I started counting. There was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And then at the last bit of water, I was like, can't stop at 6. And I got seven fish right here at the end. And we felt that that's going to mean something. The Lord is going to show us something. And in August of 2022, we were feeling again, now we need to pray and fast and hear from the Lord when we should go back. Is it now the time? Is it maybe later? And on the outreach, the Sunday, I didn't go with the rest of the other disciples. I felt with the family, let's go and have a bit of a family day. And then we went to a play park where the guys sell ice cream and the kids could play and so on. And while I got there, there was this specific waiter that just, the Lord told me I need to speak to him. And I felt I needed to maybe share Jesus with him, etc. But as I got in discussion, he told me actually now that he is a disciple. I was like, okay. And as I told a bit of my background, he knew I'm from South Africa. He said, you know what? My fiance is from South Africa. And I was like, whoa, interesting. Because we're asking now the Lord if we should go now back to South Africa. And this comes up. But then my wife also, she went through some of the boxes because there were some boxes that we haven't opened for 3 years since we left initially. And she went up to the attic and she started opening a specific box that has never been opened.
Yes, so in the time that we were fasting for the Lord to speak to us about South Africa on when we should go back, I started to unpack the boxes that we still had left over. They were still like taped and really,
Closed.
still in a perfect condition actually, like it came from South Africa. So I was starting to open up the first box and immediately came out a shirt that I've never seen before, and it was still perfectly wrapped and everything, so it was brand new. And I thought that was strange because I've never seen this before. And it was this blue t-shirt with the elephant on, and also with the African continent on it. So I was like, wow, this is amazing confirmation. I felt it was really like confirmation from the Lord saying to us, well, the first prophetic word that he gave us was the color will be blue. And then the second one was elephants, and then with the African continent on it. So I was like, wow, maybe this is a message from God. I don't know. I will speak to my husband a little later when he comes home. And then I continued unpacking the same box, and then I found another t-shirt that I've never seen before, also still packaged nicely. It was a little t-shirt that actually fits my girl exactly in her age right now. It is a pink elephant, and then also it says South Africa Wait, let me just focus. South Africa. Yes, and then also the age on the T-shirt was age. What was it?
3 to 4, yeah.
3 to 4 years. Yeah. Don't know if it's focusing, but yeah. So it was for the age 3 to 4 years old. So it actually fits her perfectly right now at the age that she is. And the interesting thing is when we came to the Netherlands, she was only 6 months old. So if we would have opened the box a little earlier, it wouldn't have fit her. And also if we opened the box a little later, it would also not have fit her. So it was a perfect fit for her in the age group that she is right now. So yeah, that was like very big confirmation for us.
What was very special for me is that the pink elephant, that reminded me of what the Lord actually did for me while we were in the Netherlands. So that also made it really special when we saw this.
Yeah, so the pink elephant is the story that he told in the beginning of what God used to really renew his mind, to set him free. So it was like God was completing this journey with this as well. So, yeah.
So we put our house in the market, and at that time we received 7 offers, of which one of the 7 couple was South Africans. And we also actually asked God, Lord, going back to South Africa, we don't want to go through this whole hassle. It's just too much difficulty with 3 kids to take all the furniture back and etc. So we asked, Lord, please, just send one person that purchase the whole house with the furniture. And then all seven said they will take the furniture with the house. Perfect, they have no problem. We were like, wow, thanks, that's just amazing. And then for anybody that knows from a biblical perspective what 7 is God's number for perfection, that it's finished, it's done, it's complete. There's nothing that needs to be added or need to be removed. So we also then realized, like, listen, you actually asked me the question, how many people have we baptized? Not totally, but in this house, what we've been involved with. And I was counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was like, we're at 6 now. It's like, okay, interesting. And this waiter that I talked about earlier, in the last week before we came back to South Africa, that Monday he came to us and said God's spoken to him. He needs to get baptized. So we've been in that time discipling a bit, and he said no, he needs to get baptized right at the end. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I think it was the last week.
Last week.
So the last week that we were in the Netherlands, we baptized the 7th
person.
So yeah.
So that was amazing when we thought about those 7 fishes. Also, when that water was just right at the end.
Yeah.
This also came up, and it was like, wow, the Lord's really showing that what He has been doing with us in the Netherlands is now complete. We also realized that it was our 7-year anniversary at that time.
Yes.
And we also have become really close involved with TLR, and we've become a green marker on the map. There's a map. We will also attach that to this video, where you can find other disciples that are following Jesus and who can help you to live the life following Jesus, hearing God's voice, and walking the life after Jesus. So we saw on that map at that stage that there are 6 South African green markers at that stage. When we looked at the map, we were like, okay, so we're going to be number 7 when we're going. We're like, the Lord's really confirming, even after we've taken the step to selling the house, showing that it's done.
Yeah, many 7s came after that as well as confirmation, like God is saying this is now complete. We need to move on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, after that, we came back to South Africa. We've now been here for a couple of months, and we've really started seeing how the Lord has been changing people's lives. There's already been 5 people that got baptized. We're starting to follow Jesus. We're starting to disciple them as well. So yeah, that's just, our story and the reason why we came back to South Africa. So thanks guys for listening to our testimony. we wish you guys all well, and if you want to know anything more, you guys are welcome to contact us through the map. We will attach that, as I said, on this video and a link. And then God bless.
Bye bye.